Hello everyone, it's once again that time of year for a collection video. So as always, I'm going to show my collection and try to highlight any new item that I got since the last collection video. But of course, since I now can't remember everything, I might forget to highlight something that I should, and maybe I'll also accidentally highlight something that I've already had in the last video. So yeah, I'll try. In this wooden section, I only have one new item, so I'll mostly skim through this as quickly as I can, and then I'll continue elsewhere. So, we'll of course start with Thomas. Over here, I've got the 90s versions of Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, and James. Very lovely. And also, Thomas has his funny funnel. That's removable, by the way. Then I've got my childhood versions of the same characters, Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, and James. These are the 2000s versions. Then I also have a 2011 Thomas, a Mattel 2013 Thomas, he's from Merrick and the Earth Crusher set, and I've modified him with buffers and such. Then we've got the 1996 Percy, Lights and Sounds Percy. I think I'm going to use him as my main Percy. Then there is my childhood Toby, aka my main and only wooden Toby. I've modified him with, buffers and roof detailing and all that. Duck, Daisy, knockoff Diesel, one of my last knockoffs that I haven't yet been able to replace. Donald and Douglas, each modified with handrails and buffers and such. Bill and Ben, with numbers and also 3D printed buffer beams. Custom Jinty. Oliver. D199, I love this guy. Knockoff Scar Louie, another knockoff that I haven't yet replaced. 1996 Mavis, and I really love her modifications. I think I did a really good job with her. Then we've got the 2000s Aeneas, controversial item, but I don't actually hate him. 2000s Sir Handel, really lovely item. 90s Peter Sam with a removable special funnel. Rusty. Brio Duncan. Cool item. Smudger. Duke. Stepney. Arian Bird, cool items. Lady. Custom Pip and Emma. I didn't even need to repaint them, they already came like this. Diesel 10. Mattel Diesel 10. I'm not really sure what I'll do with this item, cause, I don't have much use for him, but he's still nice to have, I guess. Sputter and Dodge. Battery powered Salty, who doesn't work, unfortunately. Harvey, with wheels repainted to be brown and with that yellow stripe, and I really like it. Emily, with the number 12 on her tender and also white rims on the wheels. Murdoch, recently with a white running board. Spencer. Fergus, with 3D printed buffer beams. Proteus. Mighty Mac. Fearless Freddy. Molly. Dennis. Rosie. Wiffy Woo. Billy, with 3D printed buffer beams. Hank. Early Engineer Stanley. No, I still haven't been able to get a normal one. Flora. Hero. Victor. Charlie, with 3D printed buffer beams. Bash. Dash. Ferdinand. My only new item in this section, a custom Den. He's backwards because his magnets are incorrectly, reversed, so yeah, it's a shame, but oh well. No, it's not like he's a super important character, so I can live with it. And there's his boyfriend, Dart, with 3D printed buffer beams. Fiery Flynn! Woo! Luke, Steven, custom Millie made out of a generic BO engine, Porter, Marion, Timothy, Gator, Samson, Philip with a custom Sodor flag, Ryan, Skiff, custom Gina. I think I'm going to repaint her to be more accurate. Custom Shooting Star Gordon, Hurricane, made out of a BO engine with just an edit face and literally nothing else. Custom Duchess, Nathaniel, one of my OCs. Edward's Ghost Engine, Scrap Oliver, Lady in the current condition of her life-sized prop, Proteus' statue, Clive, an OC that belongs to another user, but I can never forget how to pronounce the name, the Buffman Bomber, an OC that belongs to the same person, a Big Jake's Great Western Saddle Tank Engine. I'm considering using it for Stanley, but I still haven't decided if I actually want to do it. Knockoff Henry, or actually Gordon with Henry's Firebox. So yeah, this is Ben A. And that's my wooden engines. I still have a couple more, but not here. Then over here, I've got my wooden rolling stock and my die-cast items, plus a couple other items. So, we've got the breakdown chain, handcar, okay, custom LC and, what's her name, Cora. Then over here, I've got some coaches and such, so I've got 2 express coaches, Old Slow Coach, the Chinese Dragon, Hector, Annie, Clarabelle, Henrietta, Custom Hannah, Thumper. Yeah, it's random to put him here, but I just haven't found really a better place for now. Flora's Tram, 4 of generic green coaches. I painted 2 of the roofs silver, and then Steven's Castle coaches, or Steven's Open coaches. No. Then here I've got 3 cargo cars, the oil and coal cargo pack with the coal truck having a 3D printed face, Scruffy, the 2 troublesome trucks, chicken van, my only Thomas Wood item, the aquarium car for the shark, Solar Line Caboose, or as I call him and use him, the Spiteful Caboose, custom wooden Bruno and Bradford, Blue Mountain Quarry Truck with a 3D printed face, and Captain, one of the most useless characters in the franchise. 2 barrel cars, Fuel Tanker, the CGI version, his name is Hyundai. Then I've got 2 trucks that can carry cars. Then over here I've got a couple more cars. This is supposed to be Sir Topham Hatt's car. This is the thin clergyman's car, or the fat clergyman, I forgot who owns it. This is Car from the Teleclin Railway. And this is a bulgy that came with a magazine. It's technically not bulgy, but come on, you can clearly tell. Over here I've got all of my minis, plus a couple other items like this push-along Thomas that, he's basically a special mini for me with how I use him, so yeah. Over here I've got a couple minis that I've modified, so for example this Victor has back detailing, and somewhere in here, oh yeah, this is a custom of Mr. Easworth and OC from Timeless Engines. Okay, now let's check the old vehicles. So, I've got Adventures Bertie, Custom Lego Bulgy, the Ertl Fire Engine, I'm pretty sure that's a new item, Butch, BL Butch to be more specific, again, very lucky to have this item, Trevor, George, Elizabeth with a 3D printed tipper, Byron, Jack, Alfie, Max, Monty, knockoff take and play Isabella, take along Ned, a generic fire engine, I call him Florian, but I haven't really used him in anything, Match, Brio forklift, this Brio thingy, I don't really know what it's supposed to be. Then over here I've got some extra items. I've got magazines Percy with 2 mail vans and my first Bertie and Topham Head Scar. Over here I've got this big jigs crane which can carry this piece of check because there's a magnet in it. Bath toy Bullstrode and this thing that I use as a brake tender. And over here I've got some engines that I don't really use as much. I've got this log car, I've got another fuel tanker, this Maxim engine, some other tracks, nothing too important. And I also have this knockoff tanker where I have, other Thomas fans sign their usernames so that I can, collect as much usernames on this tanker. Okay, now it's time for the diecast items, I believe. So we'll start over here. We of course have Take and Play, Rex, Mike and Bert. I chose to get the Take and Play versions instead of the wooden ones because, I can understand the narrow gauge engines being the same size as the standard gauge engines, but with the miniature engines it was just a little bit too much, so I got these versions. Also, Bert has a 3D printed Thor cap. Then I've got 4 of TCC Diesel's goons, or minions. So I've got the yellow one, I believe his name is Meanie, but I call him Damien. This one's name is supposed to be Smarty, but I call him Oswald. Then there's this Red Diesel, I call her Doreen. She's actually made, she's combined out of 2 separate, Diesel's minions with features that I've combined into one Diesel. And then this is the newest one, his name is Trent, at least that's how I call him. Then we've also got a push-along Paxton. And then here, we've got Take and Play 2013 Thomas, modified to have, white running board and such. Take along Percy, again modified. Take along D199. Take along Toby. Take along Cody, really nice item. Take along Flatbed, which I've also 3D printed some bodies for. Currently it's being used for the Cody Fell Railway track. Adventures Oliver. Adventures Diesel. Adventures TCC Diesel. Adventures Hugo. Adventures James. Little Percy. Little Metallic Lord Harry. Pretty sure he wasn't in the last video, so yeah, this is a really cool item. Oh, I love him so much. Adventures Henrietta, Taken Place Streamlined Thomas, Adventures LBSC Thomas, Limited Checkout Edition Collection Muddy Thomas, I forgot the name of the range. They look like take-along knockoffs, but they are official. Adventures Racing Thomas and Ace. Adventures Track, which currently houses a 3D printed Adventure Scale Stefano. Adventures Troublesome Track, and below it a yellow Take and Play track. Adventures Merlin, Lexi, Hurricane, Frankie, Theo. Hurricane has also been modified, to have a buffer beam that's painted red and pistons and all that. And I've painted Theo's wheels silver. Oh, now I can't get him in. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Then I've got Adventures Raoul, Ivan, Ashima, Dart, Dan, Thinking of getting rid of these guys, because now that I have the wooden ones, I don't really need them. Nia, Hongmei, Gator, also considering getting rid of this guy. Philip, Luke, and Kevin. Then some All Engines Go diecasts. I've got Kenji, Ashima, who has been modified to be a little bit more accurate and detailed. I think I did a decent job with her. Bruno, All Engines Go Ashima's minecart. And then Carly and Sandy. Then some CGI push-alongs. I've got Shane, Yongbao, Emily with the number 12, and Rayla James. He's so great. And then below here I've also got All Engines Go, Rainbow, Thomas, and Diesel. I don't think I need them, but I just haven't gotten to, getting rid of them or something. And then Noor Jihan, I forget that I have her sometimes. And then some extra items like magazines herald and such, nothing worth noting. Then in the last drawer, I've got, I've got my Tommy check, Checkmaster check, Wooden Railway check. I want to keep it from my generic wooden check so that I don't lose it. Adventurous check, and some extra items like these, things. I forgot the name. I've also got the Super Cruiser accessories over here. I've got something in this box, but I forgot what. Oh yeah, that's where I keep my Checkmaster check. And also I have this box for the Wooden Railway barrel loader, so that's nice. Actually, since I'm here, I guess I can show a little bit of my destinations that I have here. So I've got Toby's Windmill and the motorized windmill, motorized Henry's Tunnel / Blue Mountain Quarry, Wellsworth Station, the barrel loader is in there. There's Sodor Airport, if you can see it, and the deluxe signal, waterfall tunnel, and the Duck Pond crossing. And then over here I've got, the turntable and the garage that I use as the Steamworks, and all my check, and then I've got more destinations here. But back to the more interesting items. Currently on my table I have some of my newest items, and those are the Checkmaster, Carly, and Cassia. I'm really happy that I finally have them, especially Cassia. Here I've got, my Lego items. I might do a video about them later. I even have some customs. But right now I want to focus on the 3D printed Thomas the Elephant, 3D printed Bluebird, and the American Scrap Engine. Also, Galactus, he's cool. And then here I've got my Stefano, my pride, my baby, I love him. Oh, Stefano the Super Cruiser, yeah! He also has some new minis. They are the glow-in-the-dark minis. Paxton is behind over there. And, I've 3D printed some accessories for my Stefano. This is the newest one. It's a clenched fist that is holding a flag. And his other accessories are over here. I've got a thumbs up and a reaching hand. Yeah. But back to the collection. Oh, I forgot, I have some other cranes. They are on the other side of the room, which is I forget to show them, but yeah, I've got the Wooden Railway Cranky, Colin, and Merrick, along with Merrick's Mountain. And back to the main part of the collection. So, some extra wooden items, some 3D printed customs, and of course my Tommy collection. So let's start with the wooden items. I've got the Wooden Railway Rebecca and Kenji, really cool items. I've got these two coaches, which are based on real Czech coaches, so they are cool to have. And then these two engines, which are based again on real Czech engines. I'm Czech, so I needed to get them. And this one is cool because it's actually one vehicle with a single bogie in the middle. So yeah, that's cool. Then some customs. Here's my custom LG made out of the knockoff Bertie I had for ages. Mitsodor Stanley, he's made out of the knockoff Freddy I had also for ages. Tom Moss, the prank engine. And if you look closely, that's interesting. It seems like there's little bits of silver under him. And is that the number 0 on his side tanks? I wonder what the lore implications could be. And this is another OC. This is the Tooth Fairy engine. Yeah. I've also got the Ertl Sodor Valley Canal Boat and the iconic diecast Herald. Custom Rainbow Herald, some Jazva S. Chuggingtons, those are kind of poo-poo. Some old customs that I made out of clay, there's a Submarine, Jock, Miniature Mike, like extra miniature, Thumper, he's not necessary anymore, Red Balloon, Caroline, the Calliope, and the Pope Mobile over there. Also the Coast Guard from Tux. And I've also got these wooden bogies, which I plan to use for customs. Then also here I've got Zack, some clay minifigures, old 3D printed Sunny. And then over here I've got 3D printed Stefano, which can fit inside a cargo car. Tomica paint splattered Thomas. 3D printed Neil that fits on Rocky's flatbed. Comanche Herald, a really cool item. My newest custom, I think, newest 3D printed custom, I mean, Streamlined Thomas. Oh, I think he turned out really well. Behind him are some coaches and Bear and unfinished Boko and Roderick, but I don't think I'm going to finish these two, because the way I've made them, they just don't really work all that well. Anyway, Ivo's Flying Bedstead, Stafford, who has a battery, not a boiler. Frankie, I believe she was unfinished the last time. And then behind here I've got some more customs for the Take Long flatbed. I've got Sigrid of Arsdale and Catherine. I've got some shells which I can put on a coach, and then I can have either a Pipanimas coach or the Works Unit coach, either in green or in orange. 3D printed Flying Buffer Beam, really cool engine. 3D printed wooden airway sized Stefano. I like Stefano. Then this is an OC. I haven't named him or them yet. I don't know. It's just supposed to be like an engine living in a post-apocalyptic setting, so it's kind of, whatever. Then I've got Wilbert, another 3D printed Stefano. This is Stefano if he was bought by the Northwestern Railway. So of course he's painted in the iconic Northwestern blue livery, and he has the number 80 because it was the 80th anniversary last year. 16. I recently gave her eyelashes because, I think it suits her. Gordon Snow Machine, Fred, Glyn, and then 2 of the other coffee pots, Lydia and Arnold. Yes, I know that we now have their names that are official in the early series. They are finally revealed. But I made them I made these customs like a year ago, so I don't want to throw them away, so I'm just going to ignore that. And then here I've got some Chuggington diecasts. I've got Wilson, Coco, and Action Chugger. Oh, and I almost forgot. Wooden Prague Subway. Cool item. I've got some Thomas puzzles, nothing too special there. And now we reach my favorite part, the motorized part. So, before I start, I'll just show what's behind it. There's the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then some DVDs. I've got Together on the Tracks, Calling All Engines in Hungarian, and Dixon Discoveries, my favorite special. Can you guess why? I've also got the motorized billboard, and I've got a Thomas Wooden Airway catalog. But anyway, back to the motorized items themselves. I've got the CGI motorized Bulstrode along with Checkmaster Skiff, motorized Kenji with his coaches, Etienne, motorized troublesome check from Ruth's Windmill. Mike, pretty sure he wasn't in the last video. All engines go push along troublesome check, really cool item. Then I've got two motorized Thomas from 2020. One of them has the painted middle wheel and the other has a sticker middle wheel. Weird how it's inconsistent. This one came with Annie and Clarabelle and I painted his running board white. And this one came with Terence. And now my Tomies! Yeah, they are the best ones. So, most of what you see here is new. So yeah, that's cool. I of course have the classic Tommy Thomas along with two troublesome checks from the Tommy set with Jeremy. Such a cool set. Then I've got the Tommy Steam Along Thomas, and for a long time he lacked Clarabelle. Until now, I got her just yesterday. Yesterday I finally got the Steam Along Clarabelle and now I can complete the set. I'll show it later maybe. But yeah, unfortunately I don't really have room to display her properly, so I'm going to have to try to figure that out. Checkmaster James. Broken Tommy Percy. Broken Tommy Diesel. Checkmaster 1 Blue Mountain Kukaak. Custom Tommy Bruno. Tommy Tartanker. CGI Push Along Troublesome Check. Checkmaster 2 Yellow Van. And then on this structure I have some extra items because you know I was running out of space. So these two are new, or at least Kelly is. I think I may have already had Patrick during the last collection video, but either way, here's Checkmaster Patrick and Checkmaster Kelly, really cool items. And above them is Tommy Jeremy, who has to be displayed like this because if he would be on the ground, then there wouldn't be much room for anything else. His wings, they are so big. And then there's also this plane from the magazines which I used to use as Jeremy, but now it's some other plane, I guess. And then finally over here I've also got some more Lego stuff. I've got the X-Men X-Jet, aka Blackbird. And then I also have the X-Men. I've got Cyclops, Wolverine, Magneto, Rogue. These came with the set. Behind them there's also Storm and Beast. They came from the CMF blind boxes. And I also have custom Rachel Summers and Nightcrawler. So, that's my entire collection. I suppose I should also show some of my pamphlets that I have. You know, I've got these two Wooden Airway 2022 ones. I've got some Lego pamphlets over here and here and here. I've got some more Wooden Airway pamphlets, another one over here. I also have a map of the island of Sodor because of course I do. And yeah, I think that's about everything. So I thank you for watching and I'm excited to see you in the next video.